Hello again, my friends. Excuse me. And welcome back to Kev's Hobby Showcase. I am, of course, Kevin. And you may have seen me also on Tabletop Jones Productions presents Two Idiots Playing Board Games, where me and my friend John are the two idiots playing the board games, and we have a blast doing it. Today, it's a little something different. I'm not going to be painting any minis. I'm not even doing a comic book review, although I know I've only done one so far. Today, I'm going to talk about my books, my writing. Something I started off as a hobby. I guess you could technically say it still is a hobby because I don't get to do it every day. But all right, so let me just start from the beginning. Back in like 2010, I had an idea in my head for a story, and I decided to finally start to write it down. And I tried to do that before, where I would start to write a story, and then I would get stuck, and I wouldn't know what to do with it, and then I would just abandon the entire thing. And there are some stories that I started, never finished, and I wished I didn't lose what I originally wrote, which is what happened on some of them. But this time, what happened was is that I had an idea, I wrote the entire idea down, and I was like, okay, now what? Because it wasn't really all that long. It was typed it up on the computer, and it was only like 17 pages or something like that. So I tried to see what else I could add to it, or whatever. And so then one day I spoke to another writer at the comic store that I used to go to. He was there signing for his books, and he's a guy who wrote Mice Templar. His name is shoot. uh, shoot, I'm blanking on his name already. Well, um, anyway, check out Nut Mice Templar because it's actually a good book, and you'll find his name. I can't believe I'm blanking on his name because I haven't spoken to him in a very, very, very long time. So, but anyway, he basically said to me, well, instead of trying to stretch out the story, which is what I was trying to do, I was trying to stretch it out more and more and more. He says, instead of trying to stretch it out, try adding more elements to it. And I had the wheels turning, and I started thinking of more things to put in there. And before you knew it, I had typed out on the computer about 100 pages of a story, and eventually, because first I put it out as an ebook on Amazon, and I didn't know how to promote myself, so I didn't make any money. I'm not really making. I'm still struggling with that. But anyway, I didn't really do anything with it because with the job I'm in, overtime picked up, and didn't have the time for it anymore. So then, of course, now over 10 years later, overtime's died down. They're being cut back on. So now I'm like, okay, let me try to get back to this. Maybe I could actually do something with it. So on Amazon, I have self-published as well as put it out for the Kindle. I have 3 books available, and the first one I'm going to show you right now, Sleeper by Kevin Allen. Some nice big letters. Unfortunately, I'm also designing my own covers, which really just means I'm choosing stock photos or stock designs, whatever, and just so until I'm able to get someone to do a better cover, this is what I got. So anyway, let me give you the synopsis. I'm going to read straight from the back of my book. Brett believes his family has been killed. What he doesn't know is that he is trapped in a virtual reality video game. While he unwillingly plays the game with the intent of revenge, his wife is trying to get him out. Will the love of his wife help him escape, or will he die believing his family was murdered? Basically, that's of course, a very brief synopsis of the book. There are other elements. There's, of course, the element of the person who is at fault for trapping him there in the first place. There is, his performance in the game, and there's one scene that basically inspired this entire story, where in the game when Brett is at his most desperate, he is encountered by his father, who had died previously. Which, for me, that's how I came up with it, because my father had passed away long before I started writing all this stuff, and I always felt that if I were in that type of situation, my father would find a way to come and help me. So that's what inspired that, and that's what inspired me to write the book. It's like I said, it's available on Amazon. I'm going to try to put the link to my author page in the comments of this video, or maybe even put it up on the screen. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. So, it'll be at the end of the video if I'm able to do that. So just keep an eye out. If you want to have, if you want to read some good science fiction, just give my books a chance, because that is what I write, though. I write science fiction, if you hadn't already guessed. Okay, so that's Sleeper, and it's actually, I'm very proud of this book. I'm very proud of what I accomplished. This was the first attempt I had at writing a full-length story, and I felt I did a pretty good job. I did have to turn to self-publishing because I'm an unknown, and I don't think any publisher is going to take me seriously. I could be wrong. They could have read it and loved it and decided to print it. I don't know, but I decided to go the self-publishing route. So if there's anybody out there who is a publisher, and you decide to read my book and you like it, if you want to do something with it, please contact me, and we'll work something out. All right, so I'm going to move on to the second book I published. Now, this was a story. I wrote it kind of around the same time that I wrote Sleeper. It was like right after I wrote Sleeper. It's like while I was trying to figure out what to do with that, I was writing this. It is a superhero-based story. Go figure for me, right? So yeah, as as I'm very much into like the comic, superhero comics, and of course the superhero games. So I did write a superhero story, and this is called Shadow Man. Not to be confused with the Shadow Man from Valiant Comics. It is very, very different. This is a man who has the ability to move between shadows. It has nothing to do with anything supernatural. That's just his power. But of course, in this book are going to be other people with superpowers. It's let me read the synopsis right from the back. Years ago, Charlie Brooker, the Shadow Man, gathered all the metahumans and went into hiding. The Puritist movement went from legal harassment to outright violent assaults in their dealings with the metahuman population in their efforts to take control of the country. Now, after the Puritists have control of the country, Shadow Man has returned to see if humanity deserves the aid of his people with special abilities. Will the metahumans help humanity, or will they leave them to the mess they helped create? Now, so Puritists, please, I'm not doing anything with white supremacy or any of that crap. It's basically a movement where they feel if you're a metahuman, your blood is not pure. I know that's very Nazi-ish, but it kind of fits because you'll see in the book a lot of what they're doing could qualify for what as very similar to what the Nazis did. It's not my intention to make a political statement. It's just the story just fits. So I will eventually expand on this. I'm hoping to basically create a nice universe that maybe can make Stan Lee proud, and but also in this book I included something else. There's another story that I wrote, very, very short. I'll just read from the back of the book. Also included in this book is Hellion, The Adventures of Damien. Damien is a demon who doesn't want to be a demon, and the story is only available in this book. I put it at the very end as like an extra, like a bonus story, basically. So, because this, as you can see, this book is available paperback, and it's also available on the Kindle. On the Kindle, the story's not the Hellion story is not there. It's only available in this book. So, if you like to check it out, please do. And with any of these, if you want to, contact me. I think I put my email in the in the back of the book in the acknowledgments or something like that. I may have, or in about the author section, I may have actually put my email in there. Just send me an email with the name of the book, and so I know what it's about, and then we can go from there. So that is Shadow Man. Now this next one, I had this is one of a group of stories I started writing around that time back in 2010. I think I had about 5 stories that I started and never finished. So one by one, I'm going back and I'm going through these stories and I'm trying to finish them. And I'm actually, this is just one of them. I'm actually working on another one right now. I just want to take the time to make it a nice big, novel-sized book. But for now, for this one, Christmas Rift. Not necessarily a Christmas story, This is, actually, let me just read from the back of the book. All right. Keith has been transported to another world through one of the random portals appearing throughout the world. With the help of the people he has met, he devises a plan to return home. All he has to do is help overthrow their oppressive ruler. Keith has disappeared right before Christmas. Will he return before next Christmas? That's why I called it the Christmas Rift. Because now this is interesting because this one, when I first started writing it, I basically wrote it with, it was basically, like the characters were going to be me and my family. Of course, this was pre-divorce. So when I picked it up again, that was post-divorce. And I looked at what I was doing. I was like, ooh, I can't do this. I have to change it all. So I changed because it was going to be, it was going to be me, my kids, my nephews, my sisters, all, everybody. Everybody was going to be in it. But now I'm like, no, it's going to be too awkward. So I changed the names of the characters. Didn't really include everybody that I was going to originally include. Made it a little bit more simple. But then, of course, because at the time, when I was writing it, I didn't think of the overlord to overthrow. Because I was trying to think of what to do, and I was racking my brains out. I was trying to say, what can I do with this story? What can I do with this story? And finally I was like, oh, I need an enemy. That's what I need in this story. I need an enemy. And that's when I came up with the Overlord, and I just, went from there. And it kind of took off because the ideas just kept on flowing. So those are my 3 books. As you can see, they are not a trilogy. They are individual stories. Eventually, I'm hoping I can get something that will become a trilogy. But until I get to that point, I'm just going to have to be satisfied with this for the moment. Because I'm always looking to write some more. I'm always looking for, when that free time comes, that I can devote to writing, I do it. So now, before I sign off, so I just want to say, because I don't know if, I haven't really seen a lot of comments in my other videos, but I'm wondering if anybody's wondering about why I leave mistakes in. It's because life isn't perfect. I figure, you know what? Leave the mistakes in. We could all have a good laugh at my expense. I mean, why not? Happens to me on a day-to-day basis anyway. May as well happen here. And so, and also, just know that we're going to be, John and I are going to be doing a bit more than just the channels. We're getting set to do. Basically, we're going to be utilizing Twitch. We're going to be doing. We're going to be, I don't know if we're going to live stream the games or if we're just going to record it and then put it on there, but we're going to be doing different types of games. We're going to be doing the card games that might seem a little bit more fun at times. I mean, it all depends. So that's going to be exclusive to Twitch or even Patreon. I'm not even sure yet. Also on Patreon, John is going to be reading some of my work. He might be reading these books, but I'm also looking into writing brand new stuff. To go up on that, to go up on Patreon, and hopefully it's going to be. I'm thinking of a nice, like universe type thing, all I think I came up with 5 ideas, but I want them to interlock, and kind of so this way we could interchange the characters here and there. So it's going to be pretty elaborate, but I'm going to try to make it as cool as possible. I'm going to try to make it as enjoyable as possible and as entertaining as possible. So bear with us, bear with me. We got more stuff coming. We also are looking into possibly doing a podcast. We're still working on that one. So just realize that there's a lot of good stuff coming, both with me and with John, and and it's going to be coming out hopefully before, I'm hoping before the end of the year, but if not, hopefully by next year. Because it is right now. It's the beginning of September. So I know we're in the last, fortunately, the last quarter of the year. So, but anyway, good stuff's coming. Stay tuned. Keep watching. Please like and share everything that you see. For YouTube, please subscribe. I mean, YouTube subscription costs you nothing, and anything else. I know it's going to cost money. If you are able to do it, please do. If you know anybody who'd be interested, please forward it. Please forward the links or just let them know about it. And so we're just trying to broaden our audience. We're trying to make the channels grow, and we're hoping that we can entertain for years to come. All right, so thank you very much. Have a great day, and I will see you again.